For this lesson, go into your exercise folder and open up Lady on Lake. What I would like here is a totally non-destructive, controllable way to dodge and burn an image. Now we're going to start, actually, by going into our adjustments and going into exposure. Exposure really is kind of like a dodge and burn, except it's the whole image. And let's change the exposure until we like the dock. Something around there. Now go into the mask by clicking here and invert it. Let me close this out for a minute. When you invert a plain mask of white, you invert it to black. Black and white are the controls that decide what area gets an adjustment and what doesn't, also shades of gray. What we're going to do is very carefully paint those areas back in, but with a trick. Come over and pick up your paintbrush tool. Make sure you have white as your painting color, foreground color. Change the opacity to about 25%. And change the flow to about 25%. Just like that. Now what that means is as I'm painting, what's going to happen is the most I can paint on any one stroke is 25% toward white. And if I keep rubbing back and forth, it won't go beyond 25%. So I have a lot of control here. So with our paintbrush selected, our mask selected over here, we'll go over here and right bracket a couple times, get a bigger brush. And you'll notice, as I'm doing this, it begins lightening up those areas, but the most I can go is 25%. Now, the reason I like that is sometimes when you're dealing with the exposure settings on dodge and burn, if you don't really get the brush going exactly the way you want it to go, you can get overlapping strokes. And this way you won't. As long as you keep rubbing over those areas, the only setting you're going to get is 25% maximum. But if I let go of the mouse and then click again and begin dragging, I get another 25%. That gives you total control. Now, other things are happening here. Number one, since we didn't make a copy of this image, we're not doubling the size of the file. And number two, if we don't like it, if we went too far, we can paint with black and begin restoring it. Now, if I click over here, you can see what we've got so far, and we can keep that process up of lightening it and stop when you like it. You are in control. Now, the other reason that I like doing it this way is basically if I come back over here and double-click on this option right here on the layer, I get my controls back. I'm still in control. I can still change that. Total control, non-destructive, dodging and burning. Now, that doesn't mean that the tools that we worked with in this chapter are not useful, but I will admit doing it this way does give you a whole lot more control over your final output.